So let's go ahead and get this entire old firewall off the car. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be working back on our 1965 Ford Mustang. And as you guys see in the previous episode, we went ahead and put this engine in here. We did a little test mock-up and everything lines up pretty good. We definitely will have to get different headers. I already spoke with Rick from Cortex Racing and they said they do have some headers that they make, or I think they have some in stock, and they'll actually come down and they'll be a little bit more closer to the transmission area right here instead of coming out. And they are also sending us the engine mounts because, as you can see, these are the factory ones and they won't fit in this configuration because they're just way too wide. And what I really want to focus on today is basically removing this old firewall right here, because we are going to be building a custom one because the engine does sit a little bit close back here. And honestly, we're not going to be using most of the factory stuff. Like, let's say, for instance, this right here, we're not going to use the factory brake booster. So I kind of want to just build a custom one, because we could order one, but then we'd still have to cut it up and do that, which I don't really want to do. And I really want to enforce this area down here, reinforce it. So I think we're going to cut this firewall out and do some reinforcing back here and basically just build this entire firewall, because I want it to come back a little bit further just so we can move the motor back just a hair, just to make the car more stable at high speeds, like around corners and stuff. We are also in the works with getting the wheels and tires set up for the car. I think we are going to be doing a little bit of a wide body on it. And we also reached out to some companies about maybe even getting a supercharger for this car, which would be absolutely epic. And that's why we really want to focus on reinforcing this entire front end area. And as I was thinking earlier that we were going to use the factory aprons, but it's just not going to be strong enough. Those aprons were really flimsy. So I think we're actually going to build our own. And I did build the other ones on the other Mustang pretty quick. So it's not too hard to just get all the gaps lined up perfectly. And I think the first thing we're gonna do right now is go ahead and start removing that firewall. So let's go ahead and grab the belt sander and the grinder and go ahead and pop this bad boy off. All right, let's get to it, boys. I also have to put on my hat because it is cold today. How's that look?
You got that little skateboarder look and that mechanic look.
What's going on? Why did?
Alrighty,
guys, we got our belt sander. And a couple of people were asking me like where to get a good belt sander, and honestly I think 3M is the best. What the? I'm having flashbacks, man. So guys, we got the entire firewall cut out of here, and man, there was some serious rust back here. I'm guessing that's why they put that little patch panel in right there. But right now what I want to do is go head to the steel store, and I want to grab some sheet metal so we can go ahead and start boxing the frame rail to this apron, or this is the rocker area, and this is actually basically a frame rail that goes on the outside of the car, and I want to box this to here to reinforce that whole entire area down there. Then we can slowly work our way up to building the fully custom firewall. Oh my gosh. We have finally made it back. Roger, Roger, you hearing this? You catching this noise going on over here? Roger, Roger, it's snowing. I'm gonna need backup. Little danger, ranger. Oh, let's just drop it in. You know what? We got everything we need, boys. Everything. And I bought some sheets for the aprons.
Did they miss you here?
Oh yeah. They haven't seen me in months.
They missed all that business you've been giving them. Back at it.
I bought a whole sheet of 16 gauge 4x8. Golly. Hello.
Get your butt up here.
You don't like the yellow Danger Ranger?
Danger Ranger. Oh my gosh. Danger Ranger. There you go.
Wait, let's...
Here you come in all these exotic cars and Lexus and BMWs. You put our thought. I know that's not one of the big boys driving that truck.
Hey, it's good because, I mean, I used to always put steel in cars and it always messed up.
Well, you know what?
Alright, I think is that your copy?
Nope. Thank you, baby.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
Keep me posted on there.
I will, thank you so much. So guys, we got everything nice and loaded up and we're gonna head back to the shop. Oh, did you hear my little rap song I just created about the Danger Ranger?
You gonna rap?
No, I was singing in the truck.
How'd it go?
Not too good. I need to be in a... We chilling. I can't spit no words. No, nope. I'm not gonna embarrass myself on live television. So guys, we got back from the steel store and I also went ahead and cleaned everything up. There's no more remnants of the old pieces here. Also went ahead and cleaned up the frame rail. There was a little bit of rust on this floor pan, so I cut it back a little bit farther. And check out everything we got from the steel store. We got our nice plates. These are the plates I'm gonna be using to box this area in. I wanna box it in really nice and make a little platform because this is probably where I'm gonna put a roll cage in this car. And I think this is gonna be one of the mounting points. So I got this very nice, strong, thick steel plate and I got a super good deal on it. And then we also got these little, I think it's a 1x1 square tubing. We're gonna use that to build the front aprons of the car. And then we also got some sheet metal right here. It's some 16 gauge. So it's almost pretty much the same thickness as the factory OEM ones. It's just a little bit thicker. And I think that's gonna be perfect for the aprons. Now what we need to do, set that down. Now what we need to do is figure out how we're actually gonna do this area right here. What I'm thinking is I do have this square channel right here and I think I'm gonna cut it down to size and actually brace this area in here just like that, just so this frame rail right here is perfectly braced to this rocker panel, and it's gonna just give everything nice strength because we want this front end to be as strong as possible because we do have a gigantic engine that's going in here. Plus with like the radiator and everything, it's gonna be a lot heavier than the original one. So I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and cut to size this, it's a 2x4. It's not the thicker one, it's kind of like the thinner one. We're gonna cut this to size and we're actually gonna put it inside here, fully weld it all around on both sides, and that's gonna give us super strong rigidity over here on both sides. So guys, let's go ahead and measure it up and get both of these cut to size. 11 inches. So check it out, guys. We got both sides nice and welded in, and man, check out this beautiful welds that the HTP put down. I guess I dialed in all the settings perfectly, and man, that's gonna be so much stronger than this flimsy firewall that was basically, that's all that's supporting this frame rail at this point. But now we have these beefy, strong supporting braces, and I think we can even tie the roll cage into that, but I'm still not sure how we're gonna do the roll cage. But what I wanna focus on now is starting to build the firewall. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go off the factory location, basically go somewhere around here, and basically gonna come up just like that, and then maybe just come up like this, because I wanna kind of push the firewall back so then we have more room in the engine bay, because we don't really need much room in there. I'm not even sure if we're gonna run heat or AC. I'm not too sure about that, but I know we can make something work if we do decide to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just sit down and just figure out a perfect way to make this firewall work perfectly. So right now we're gonna do some CAD design work. So guys, check it out. We got both side panels made, and I know it would have been a lot easier if we did have a metal brake. I wouldn't have had to grind it, and then we're gonna have to weld it up later. But we got both pieces in, and man, it looks freaking perfect. It lines up perfectly to the factory frame weld, spot weld. So we're gonna drill holes in this piece, weld it perfectly to the frame rail right there. And then right here, we're also, this right here is just gonna get pushed in. We're gonna flatten this out, weld it all through up in here, and then same thing down here. So it's gonna give it a nice extra strength and rigidity on this thing. Now we basically just gotta continue working on this piece. I wanna go ahead and make these side panels right here. They're basically gonna come out like this and then go just like that. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and knock out these side panels, and I'll show you guys exactly what it looks like. So guys, check it out. We got the firewall basically all lined up, and now we just need to do our final trims. And basically why we did this little recess is so we can have the motor as far back as possible, just to keep that weight perfectly in the center of the car and not just too far forward, because we want this car to handle really good. Now all I need to do is go ahead and make my marks, trim this up, and go ahead and start welding everything together. So guys, check it out. The firewall is finally done. We also went ahead and trimmed the cowl and lined it up perfectly. I did kind of mess up a little bit right here, so I'm gonna have to probably put a little piece of filler metal in there and then weld it up really nice. But everything is nice and flush there. And what this is gonna do is allow us to bring the motor back a little bit further, because as you can see on the older cowl, you had this right here, which was stopping it, and that was pushed out. As you can see, there's that seam that was usually like right here, and we kind of just pushed everything back I think 3 inches. So that will give us more space to bring the motor back, and we'll have more area in the front for like the accessories and stuff. And it's gonna help with the handling of the car a lot. And then we also are gonna have to do some modifications to that cowl, because unfortunately, let me get it and I'll show you guys what happened with it. So that's the cowl from the old fastback, and I had cut it up because I was using the tubes. And now if we put it over like that, this area right here is just simply cut off and it's missing, which kind of sucks. I wish I would have never cut it, but maybe we can make it work. I'm not too sure if we can, because like over here I did cut it a little bit, because as you guys know, there was a tube going on the other fastback. And now pretty much all we're gonna have to do is basically put another piece of metal right here, trim this down on our new cowl, or use this cowl and just trim that down, and the motor's gonna be sitting perfectly further back, which is gonna be nice, because especially like when we take this thing to the track, it's just gonna handle a lot better. And man, it's so freaking nice how we boxed this frame rail in right here with this 2x4, and then this is gonna get welded. I haven't fully welded everything yet because we still haven't made the transmission tunnel. And why I haven't made the transmission tunnel is because I still don't know exactly how the transmission is gonna go in. I do also need to order some bolts for the transmission that mount to the engine. And then once we get our engine mounts, we can go ahead, set the engine in here, and then we can mark wherever we need it, and we can just trim our hole right there with the plasma cutter. And then let's come inside. And then as you can see, all we'll have to do is basically just put the transmission tunnel straight to there, finish boxing everything in. And man, this turned out perfect. As you can see, all the spot welds. I haven't fully welded it yet. I really want to build the transmission tunnel and then fully weld everything together, just so nothing warps or shifts whenever we're doing the welding process. But man, it turned out amazing. So guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. We got the firewall pretty much all complete. The only thing we're gonna have to do, cut that transmission tunnel, build the transmission tunnel, and the firewall is 100% complete, and then we'll do all the welding. But I just think it looks so much nicer when it's just gonna be all nice and flat. You're not gonna see any like indentions or anything like that on the firewall. Plus it's giving us a lot extra strength up here, because everything is fully welded to the piece, and then everything is fully welded to the actual body of the car. So it's also gonna strengthen this entire area. And the fact that we got this in here is just gonna give the car a lot more strength and rigidity. But if you enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a like, follow us on Instagram at vTuned. Thanks for watching. We just made it to the shop. We just made it to the shop. We're gonna park the Ranger Danger out front, cause we need to unload the metal, cause we made it. We got all the metal we need. Friendly banter, you know? Why did you move the 5.0 engine right here? Look how easy that is to move, guys. Oh no, we hit a pothole.